Welcome folks, one and all, to Let's Play a game developed and published by Sega in 1993 in Japan and 1995 in Europe and North America. A game that originally was not meant to be released in Europe. It was released for the Sega Mega Drive and Sega Genesis, and is the final role-playing game in a series of role-playing games that started on the Master System. Why am I starting with this one? Because apparently it doesn't matter if you start at the very end. And so, without further ado folks, welcome one and all to Let's Play Phantasy Star 4, The End of the Millennium, a game that I have never played before, so please, no spoilers in my comments. Let's press start here so that we don't get the intro cycling, because once it gets past the main title screen, you have to wait for it to go all the way back round. A few things I want to talk about before I start the game. Firstly, if you want to see the first game being Let's Played by somebody who's not only really good at it, but really knowledgeable about the setting, check out Unplayed Things Let's Play of Phantasy Star 1 for the Master System. I'll provide a link in the description. Secondly, I have never played any Phantasy Star game, although I have wanted to in the past. I used to spend time in the morning before school at somebody's house and they had a Mega Drive, and I believe they had Phantasy Star 2, which they occasionally played a bit of, and I really wanted to play that game, but of course I never had time to really get started at it, so instead I played shorter games, like the first few levels of Sonic & Knuckles. It's one of the reasons why Sonic & Knuckles is one of my favourite games for the Mega Drive that is a Sonic game, but I digress. I never got round to playing any of the Phantasy Star games, even when I later got a Mega Drive. It was quite a while after first seeing Phantasy Star 2 that I got a Mega Drive. And I decided, when I finally got round to it, that I would play all of them in succession, 1, 2, 3 and 4. And here I am now playing just 4. Apparently, you don't need to have played any of the other ones to fully understand what's going on in 4, though there will be some references that I will miss naturally, because there'll be things that will be mentioned from previous games that I won't know about. But this is a self-contained game, and so I'm going to try my best to complete it. Will I be able to complete it? Will the game absolutely destroy me? There's only one way to find out, as I start the game and begin the adventures that may doom this system, or may save it. I don't know. I don't know what the plot's going to be. Let's go. Chaz, we have work to do. Hurry up and get ready. Say hello to Alice. And Chaz. Alice is clearly the protagonist. This is your first job since you joined the Hunters Guild. You better put your heart into it. So, I'm not a trainee anymore. From this day on, you are a full-fledged partner. Congratulations, Chaz! Welcome to the Hunters. Now come on, let's go. Alright, Alice, lead the way out of the town. Where are we off to this time? It's a bit far. We're going to Motavia Academy in the town of Piata. Wow! So we're going to the town of learning. I wonder what's happened there. Who knows? The message said, just come. We'll get the details once we're there. And off they go! Chaz walks behind as Alice leads the way out of the settlement. It looks quite nice. And there are guards guarding the entrance. And there's the world map. Since we're going to be there anyway, I'd sure like to tour the academy. Is that all you can think about? Get moving or I'll leave you behind. And off they go! Off into the distance. What's this? This is the establishing shot. AW-2284. Monster attacks have swelled the ranks of those who call themselves Hunters. But as the attacks become ever what? Ever more dangerous? Ever more present? Here we go. More frequent and powerful. That's what I was looking for. An elite few begin to wonder what is behind this outbreak. And when and how will it all end? This planet seems quite arid, but it seems perfectly habitable, which is quite fortunate. And now they're off to the place of learning. Oops, I wandered around and now I've gotten separated from Alice. I've got to find her. Let us see if we can find Alice. Let us also look at our various things. And also, Alice is literally right there. It's not so much you lost her, more that she went over to that corridor and you haven't followed Chaz. Chaz is level 1 and has 25 hit points, and I believe that is 10 technical points? I'm not sure, but I'm going to presume that that is mana. Let's have a look at our items. we can't have any items, or rather we don't have any items. He has one tech skill, and that is res, I believe that is restoration, and that is a healing skill. Chaz cannot use the special skill. He doesn't have one, that is. What is he currently equipped with? A leather helm, a hunting knife, another hunting knife, and a leather cloth. He's not exactly well equipped considering how high in technology this game is. His state? Let's have a look. There we go, we get loads of information about him, and it's not really that important. I don't know what mumble means. Ah, it's him monologuing. I wonder where Alice is. Alice is literally over there. We could go and talk to her if we like, but you know what? We're just going to walk around and talk to everyone else. After all, you wanted to go and have a look around and talk to people. We will meet up with the main protagonist in a little bit. Hello, you. About a month ago, monsters began to appear in the basement. I'm so frightened, I can't even think about my research. Well, I wonder if we're going to be dealing with the monsters in the basement. It's probably a 100% chance. Are you a hunter? Are you here to exterminate the monsters? Yes, I am. I just finished my training. Oh. You're not a very good hunter then, are you? I have great potential. Oh dear, we're all doomed. Let us go and talk to you. Hello. You're the hunter commissioned by the principal? A kid like you? Are you going to be able to handle it? Don't worry, we'll be fine. We can examine this as well. This is a very difficult math book. Very difficult indeed, Chaz, I'm sure. Let us go and talk to Alice. Chaz, where have you been? Come on, let's go. But we have to see the principal and get the details about this commission. And so, we are now in control of Alice once more. Let's have a look at Alice's stats. Alice is level 7. She has 53 hit points and 40 technical points. And we also have 500 pesetas. That is the currency that we're going to be using throughout the game. We'll be getting it by defeating monsters. We'll also be getting it by opening chests and doing various things like that. Let us see what happens if we... if you press start, you bring up the thing to save the game and all sorts of other things. We don't want to do that. We want to... we can't actually mumble. We can talk, though. We better see the principal and get more details. So he's the one who requested the commission. I wonder where he is. Probably upstairs. Not likely to be downstairs. Let's talk to you. Here at Motavia Academy, we search for the truth of the universe. This is the largest research facility on the entire planet. What do you think? Isn't it grand? It looks like an interesting place, doesn't it, Alice? Really? It doesn't interest me one bit. Oh, Alice, you just need to broaden your horizons. After all, the universe is a place of mystery. Admittedly, you can't fight the universe. Well, you could try to fight the universe. I wouldn't try fighting the universe. If you're looking for the principal's room, it's way in the back, but recently he's been acting strangely. I think he's scared of something. We'll keep that in mind as we look at this massive telescope. Oh, that's not a telescope, that's my quantum laser cannon that I use to shoot down spaceships. What? Well, people have got to have hobbies, you know. Once, there were 3 planets in the Algol star system, but during the Great Collapse, the planet Parma was lost. Now only Dezolis and this planet remain. That's terrible. If only you could find out what happened to that planet. If you want to find out what happened to that planet, you should probably play Phantasy Star 2. Apparently, 1,000 years ago, there were ships that could travel through space. Today, the only thing we could do is view Dezolis through a telescope. Just once I would love to go to Dezolis. It sounds like a dream, traveling to another planet. Oh, Chaz, we're never going to be able to travel to another planet. We're stuck here on this planet forever. Let's go to the back, shall we? And find the principal, sat at his desk, and say hello. Cutscenes! Welcome. I'm the principal of this academy. Let's see, you must be Alice the Hunter, and you are her assistant Chaz. Forgive me, but Chaz is a full-fledged partner of mine. Now let's get down to business. Describe the situation. About a month ago, mysterious monsters started to appear within this academy. What do they look like? Oh, you really don't want me to describe them. They are horrifying. We'll find them eventually, I'm sure. Also, I really like the way the cutscenes are done, with little stills and images that are highly detailed and really nice looking. It appears that they have made the basement their headquarters. I've since closed it off. So far no one's been hurt, but who knows when they'll appear again. Please, I beg you to destroy all those creatures. I'd like to settle this matter discreetly. I'm counting on your reputation, Alice. No problem. You can rely on us. Although, it's strange that all these monsters suddenly appeared in this academy. Usually monsters don't come into inhabited areas. Do you have any idea how this happened? How would I know? Stop asking questions. Just hurry and exterminate those monsters. Don't forget, I'm paying you dearly for your services. Alright, let's go. But first we're going to have a look at all of your stuff. This is a historical document. What about this? The cabinet is locked. Darn it, we can't steal your things, Principal. Can we talk to you again? Good luck, I'm counting on you. No problem. Don't count on me, by the way, I've never played this game before. Let's go outside the room. Something smells fishy here. We're both thinking the same thing here, Alice. That principal was hiding something. Maybe he's afraid of the monsters? I think there's more to it than that. Things are starting to get interesting. We're going to have to go down, I think, if we're going to get to the basement. That begs the question of how we got into here and got all the way up here without going past the basement. Maybe we just climbed up. Let's go down. And let's find more people to talk to, of course, like you. Huh? Do I know you? Yikes! What are you doing with such lethal weapons? Oh, we're hunters. Oh, so you're not here to take classes? No. Get out! How rude. Well, we're going to look at your stuff now. What an oddly shaped jar. We'll never know how oddly shaped that jar is, besides Chaz's description. Let's talk to you, shall we? I'm studying history. This planet has bad problems from the beginning. Presently, we have an abnormal climate, soil depletion, and a decreasing birth rate. It doesn't make for a promising future. This guy's too depressing. Let's get out of here, and let's look at his stuff. A very dusty 20-volume set of Algoian history. Indeed, that is a big set of history. Also, here is a statue. The God of Learning, Dr. Lubetz. A person from 2,000 years ago. How interesting! Let's talk to these people here. After all, it's a role-playing game. You must talk to everyone. You may learn something important. I'm so scared of the monsters. There's nothing I'd like more than to leave town, but the principal won't allow it. Oh, that's okay. We'll deal with all the monsters. 1,000 years ago, our society was thrown into confusion by the destruction of Mother Brain. After that, Motavia sustained a direct hit by a fragment of the exploding planet Palma. Our civilization was almost destroyed. We call this the Great Collapse. Oh, I didn't realize you weren't students. Are your students typically armed so heavily? Some of them are. Some of them don't know what classes they're actually taking. They come in and go, is this weapon training? And I go, no, actually, it's ancient history and the talk of the Great Collapse, and then they leave. Who are you again? We're just going to go talk to this person who looks exactly the same as you. Oh yes, my twin brother. Stop wasting time. There's nothing here. That's what happens if you try to interact with nothing. Let's talk to you. For the last year, there have been violent changes in the planet's crust, as well as an abnormal outbreak of monsters. At this rate, the planet will be doomed. Hey, it's not going to do any good just moaning about it. Indeed it's not. You should be trying to do something about it. After all, you're scientists. You'll figure something out, I'm sure. Also, you can't look down if you're by something that would block your ability to move. A book titled Geology Today. That looks like an interesting read. A book titled Literature of Parma. Also looks interesting. What about this one? There's even a fortune-telling book. Am I going to read it? No, we don't have time. Oh, you're no fun, Alice. We have things to do. Like leave. We could just leave if we wanted to. But we're not going to. We're actually going to stay in here. And can we go down? We cannot go down. We can only go this way. And here is somebody that is blocking the way down. I'm sure this person isn't important at all. This person looks quite important. Let's go and say hi. What? You're the hunters? Really? You don't think we can do the job? No, not at all. I didn't mean that. Since we have the principal's permission, let us pass. Wait, take me with you. And why should we? Yes, why should we? You'll just get in the way after all. Most likely. Unless you're good at fighting. You might be good at fighting. My name is Han. I am an assistant at this academy. I work for Professor Holt, who has gone to investigate Birth Valley for his research. That sounds important because the name's capitalized. We haven't heard from him since, so now I'm searching for the professor's whereabouts. Birth Valley? That's that mysterious place that has been called the Sacred Valley of Life. Thanks for the brief summary there, Chaz. But what's the connection between the valley and this current monster scare? After the investigation team, led by the professor, was reported missing, the principal barred everyone from entering Birth Valley. We're trying to get information as to what's going on, but he keeps evading the issue. And then this monster scare begins. I'll bet anything that there is some sort of connection between these incidents. Well, it's true that there is something fishy about the principal's behavior. Given the circumstances, I feel compelled to investigate the basement myself. But come to think of it, it is a bit dangerous. So you were just waiting for us to arrive? Well, yes, you catch on quick. 100 meseta. What? We'll take you with us for 100 meseta. I like Alice. Alice is an amazing protagonist. I hope you weren't thinking of asking to tag along with us for free. I can't get that kind of money from the principal. That's not my problem. Now, what are you going to do? Okay, I'll pay. And now we have Han with us. Let's have a look at our money. And indeed, we do have 100 more meseta. You drive a hard bargain, Alice. Let us go down here into what may be the first dungeon of the game. Let's go. This place looks rather sinister. That is a monster that's running away. Let's be very cautious and let us talk. Let's see if there's anything interesting to talk about. Both the principal and Han have asked us to inspect the basement. Are you sure you're not just trying to take my money? Hey, you've already paid, so don't cry over spilled milk. I wonder if I'll be okay going with these people. I like the talk function. It's like a way to summarize what you're doing. But I saw loot up here. Let's go grab it and open this treasure chest that really shouldn't be a treasure chest. We found a monomate. That's a healing item. Let's keep moving, shall we? Combat! Against 3 Xanafalg. They look quite horrifying. We have 3 things we can do. We can input commands, we can use a macro, or we can run. Also note that there are 3 people in the party right now, but there is a maximum of 5 that we can have. Let us see if we can fight these monsters. They surely aren't going to be that tough. Let's go. We have 5 commands here for Alice. That is an attack. That is using one type of skill, another type of skill, items, and defense. We're just going to attack. And for some reason, we don't select what target Alice actually attacks. I wonder what kind of weapon she has. We are selecting for Chaz, though. We'll attack you, and we'll attack you. She has a boomerang, and quite an amazing boomerang, too. That was a lot of damage to all the enemies. These enemies don't seem that tough. They're only dealing 1 damage to Alice. They'll probably deal a little bit more to Chaz and Han, because they're level 1. Have at thee! And you have been defeated. Victory! Everybody got 9 experience and 6 meseta. This place is dark and dingy, and full of monsters and books. Look at all this dust. I can't read the titles on these books. Oh well, Chaz, looks like you won't be telling us what those books are. More combat! This time with more Xanafalgs, but only 2 of them. We can take on 2 of these. Alice, use your amazing boomerang. You attack that one, and Han, you go for that one. I imagine you're armed with some kind of dagger. Aha! A lot of damage. A tiny amount of damage dealt to us. All to Alice, except that attack missed. 1 foe down, and you're dead too. Marvelous. More money. At this rate, Han, you may be able to make up that 100 that you gave Alice. And we just got another 100, and we're not giving it to you, that's for sure. Will we go down further into the basement? We will. But next time. For when we come back, folks, we will continue to explore this place on the principal's orders. And hopefully we'll be able to find just where these monsters are coming from. Maybe they have burrowed in from a cave system. Or maybe there is something far more sinister going on. I'm going to bet that there is something far more sinister going on, because hey, it's a role-playing game. There's always something sinister going on. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later. Why doesn't any one of these people here have guns? Surely a gun would be a much better way to deal with these monsters than a boomerang and some swords. Speaking of which weapon do you actually have, Han? Is it a sword, or is it a dagger? It is a dagger! My prediction was correct. And so, guns next time, people. Get guns. Guns are just really useful, especially if you can just attack all enemies with guns. Scatterfire. Later.